everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the SharpShooters NBA podcast. My name is Danny Professional. I am your host.
Yes.
Welcome back. To my left, we have the man himself. He wears Beats. He is Dr. Dre. He's not Dr. Dre. He's Matty Reliable, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm not sure about that intro, but Beats, Bears, Battlestar Galactica.
The man in red. He's still wanted, everybody.
Oh. Back out there, Danny. You put my business out
Yeah,
there.
man. Well, you know.
It's
fun.
his name.
The man directly to my right always has the freshest hats. Always has good shoes. The shirts, they're not as good as Matt's, but he's always looking pretty good. Everybody, Alex baby.
Good morning.
Whoa. Changing it up a little bit. I like
Changing it up.
And everybody, I feel like I have to do another voice for this. Hold on. Everybody, the man that you all paid your money to see. LeBron James. The man, the myth, the legend. The king, Julian.
Let's get it poppin'. Let's get it slopping up in this.
Gotta make up some new stuff now. We doing brand new this week, boys.
And then in the sound booth, we can't forget him, everybody. We got Jacob with us. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm good. I'm about to make you splash.
There it is. There it is.
I'm good.
Gonna find something every week.
I'm good.
Everybody, check us out on Facebook at the SharpShooters NBA podcast, on Twitter at SharpShooterNBA,
Killing
on
it.
Instagram at SharpShooters
Check it
NBA,
out.
and we're on YouTube and we're uploading videos.
Woo!
SharpShooters NBA.
Check it out.
We did a reactions video and it's pretty tight. So
It's good.
Me and Luke's highlight reel. Check it out.
Matt's highlight reel.
He admitted to it in the video. Watch it.
Okay, one of them was my highlight.
Oh, yeah, true. The first topic that we're going to get into today, MJ and Kobe versus LeBron. How do you calculate the greatest of all time? How do you calculate four greatest of all time? I'm sorry. Four greatest of all time. I think there's a difference there. And who would be your top five players?
Well, for me, I know when I heard Michael Jordan say that statement this week, I was just
What was that statement?
he just said, "Hey, you know, there's just something about five that beats three." That's all he said. That's all he said. And so in Michael Jordan's mind, he considers Kobe better than LeBron. And in my mind, I think as of right now, currently in this day, I consider Kobe better than LeBron James. But I do believe that LeBron at the end of his career has the potential to be better than Kobe Bryant. And honestly, I think he probably will be at the end of his career. Because for me, it's really a mix of a lot of different factors. First, like, obviously, straight up skill, right? You got to be a good basketball player to be considered the greatest of all time.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
when you look at like who just walked with like the level of skill and stuff, and just how good they were, how good were they simply at playing basketball?
Yeah.
It's like an eye test. Just
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Kobe's footwork. And even the weaknesses, like if you have glaring weaknesses, like I'm
Yeah.
probably not going to count you as one of the greatest of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
True.
for me, like that one. Second is physical athleticism. Like just like honestly, like what separates them from the rest of the pack. You know,
Yeah.
I think some of the best guys we've ever seen have combined physical talent with tremendous skill. And then winning. Like,
You gotta
have they won?
You gotta
Do
win
they have the
something.
heart of a champion? Not just winners, you know,
Yeah.
but do they have the heart of a champion to overcome adversity? You know, it's not all about stats, guys. I mean, stats are important, but the fact is, if you're going to be considered the greatest of all, you have stats.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
It'll be in the
you got
stats already.
Right.
It's there.
Yeah.
And then probably for me, just I think what kind of separates especially Kobe, LeBron, MJ, how polarizing are they of a figure? Like, how iconic are they going to be?
Yeah.
How much did they bring to the sport? how much are they going to be remembered on down the line, even past them? What kind of legacy did they leave
good.
behind?
That's good.
And so for me, those are the big things for me.
So based on that, who would your top 5 be?
My top 5 would be number 1 would be MJ,
Okay.
because I mean, straight
Yeah,
up,
put him
I
in
mean,
there.
he's the most iconic
Yeah,
player.
no one's taking him down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's number one.
Kobe, number
Okay.
2.
Oh wow!
Whoa. Yeah.
All right, now we're getting somewhere.
I mean, this man, he's iconic, he's skilled, and honestly, other than MJ, there's nobody more iconic than Kobe Bryant in the sport of basketball to me, from what I grew up watching. Third is LeBron James.
Okay.
Fourth is Kareem,
Okay.
just because he was amazing, and I mean, those stats and his longevity was crazy.
Iconic skyhook.
And then fourth is going to be the other MJ, Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
I
Right.
mean, list is a little. I have a little suspicion of that list, but I think as far like Kobe second, that's really bold. I've never heard that before from anyone. But I think the biggest thing for me for calculating like greatness, all-time greatness, chips. Like, of course, you have to
Yep.
have something.
Yep.
You got to have rings. One, and it's not anybody can get one, but one is, you can get one. But I think you have to get multiple.
Multiple
You have
rings.
to have multiple rings. You have to have
And-
gotten your team there.
And
done
even
it.
there, I think it matters like how much you contributed there.
You have to
Exactly.
be.
Because
Yeah.
it's not
You
just
have to
like
be the guy.
Robert Ory's and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
7 chips,
That's-
like
yeah, no one-
if you're
no one
not in the
cares.
conversation,
we
this
know-
is greatest of all
Yeah,
time.
we know like Robert Ory is not better than Michael Jordan. Like we know that. So like when guys are like, "Oh, okay, well you have 6, Robert Ory has 7. He's better than you." Well, you know he's not. You're just being a troll.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
What about Bill Russell?
Bill Russell, he was a great player. Eye test wise, we know he wasn't. He's not even the best center to ever play. So,
Yeah.
but chips, obviously, I think individual MVPs, accolades, defensive player of the year, that's awards like that contribute to individual greatness. So they contribute to being a greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Talent wise, like, did you maximize your talent?
Yeah.
Like,
That's where the
were
hard
you
work comes in.
drafted number 1 and did you live up to that? And did you exceed that? Were you drafted 15th and did you exceed that and become better than? You know what I mean?
Heart matters right there.
Yeah.
Heart. Yeah.
And then-
Intelligence,
Yeah.
I think matters.
Yep.
And even as
IQ.
far as like MVP, like you don't necessarily have to win
Yeah.
an MVP because I think there's
Yeah.
guys that I've considered like Charles Barkley
Yeah.
who had to play with Michael Jordan for all these years, but
Yep.
as long as you were like running for candidacy for
Yeah.
MVP for at
Big
least
time.
like 5 seasons or something, I feel like you can be in the conversation at least for
Yeah.
one of
I mean, if
those.
you just
Yeah.
lose to the
Exactly.
number 1 that everyone knows is
Yeah.
number 1, you
That's-
can't really.
that's tough.
It's not on him
Right.
for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean that's why Kobe to me can't be number 2 because he wasn't the best player on all his championship runs. He had Shaq, who was the best player, and to me Kobe wasn't the best player in the league for a long stretch of time. Maybe like 2 years, 3 years where I would say, oh, Kobe was
2, 3
definitely the best.
Yeah, definitely.
But
But he was in the talks.
He was in the talks
Yeah.
the whole time, just like Tim Duncan was in the talks
Yeah.
at sometimes, Shaq, LeBron, like those guys. But like that's what makes Jordan, like he was the best. We know Jordan was
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
in the midst of other great
in the
players
midst,
like
yeah.
the
like,
Hakeems and all these
yeah,
like
Patrick
Hakeem,
Hughes, David
yeah.
Robinson, all
These
these
guys
guys.
are-
That's why I would say even just
Amazing.
the respect from their peers, I think is one of
Yeah.
the biggest things to look
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Because anyone that Michael Jordan ever played against, everyone says he's the greatest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you have the other players like that played against Kobe, and they're
Yeah.
also like give him that kind of respect,
Yeah.
Right.
it's
Kobe's
not
great.
too many players that have that respect from their peers. Then you know
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
have to be good. I never played against them,
And I
but
love
when
Kobe.
these other professional players play against them, give them that respect. I think that's up at the top of the list for me.
Yeah.
Their
Another
work
big thing is-
ethic.
Yep.
too,
Yep,
I think.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think this whole thing with MJ, him talking about Kobe and LeBron, I think a big part is just because Kobe reminds him so much of himself. Just because
mentality.
the mentality, like that, just like killer instinct mentality, the getting to the gym like 4 hours early, even on game
Yeah,
days.
The Jason Williams
The
story.
Jay Williams, yeah, that story's crazy. And like Michael Jordan did that all the time. So I think that's probably, he might be a little biased with Kobe just because it's
That was
Yep.
that
It's
was
him.
That was so weird though. That was a weird story because it was like Kobe said, "I saw you coming in the gym." How the frick did he
Yeah.
see him coming in the gym?
But
Are you
he stayed
Batman, like
longer.
sitting at the gates, man, like sitting on
Right.
top of the arena?
And he said, "Oh, I just stay longer, just so you know, no matter how hard you work, I'm gonna work harder." That's
So
like,
he just showed up to the
it's
gym
like,
just to let him know that he like.
yeah,
watch
like
me
I'm
do this.
outworking you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Julian, who's your top 5?
Top 5 all time. MJ, 6 MVPs. You know, he's got the chips. Finals MVP every year. You know, you got LeBron.
6-0.
Yeah, 6-0, which is
Yeah.
pretty amazing. And they could have been, who knows? They could have been 8-0, who knows? And then I got LeBron, Magic, Bird, and Russell. I put Russell up there because the way he played defense on, not really played defense on him, but he was a defensive anchor against Wilt Chamberlain and those teams. I was debating Wilt Chamberlain, and I was like, I don't know. And then Kareem, I wanted to put him in there
There's a lot to
too.
put in.
So that 5th spot is between those 3, but I went with
Russell?
Russell.
Solid.
So we all got MJ.
MJ, Bird. We should all have MJ, Bird, and Magic. We should all have
Those
MJ,
three. Yeah.
Bird,
Okay,
and
like
Magic.
Bird and Magic, Bird and Magic, where they took the league,
Yeah.
70s and 80s, their legacy, Bird and Magic for sure with MJ.
Yeah.
That only leaves
Yeah,
2.
it has to. Yeah.
I think it
For
has
me,
to
it's
be
it's
them.
tough to put LeBron in now just because he's not done yet, so we don't really know completely what his legacy is. I don't know if I can put
Still
his
think he's done
legacy
enough.
now where he's at above like Kareem. Just the like
Right.
unstoppable skyhook was like a new innovative. No one did that before, so I got to put Kareem there with the 4. The 5th
He's
spot,
number 4. Kareem is 4.
yeah,
Okay.
and then the 5th is really
Yeah.
tough between those last ones. Between like you got like Kobe, like you said Russell. It's tough to.
Russell, Wilt, Oscar.
Yeah, that
so
5th
many
spot's just the
LeBron.
toughest for me. Right now, I'll probably still put Bill Russell, just the way that he also changed the game back then, and he was
Yeah.
just ahead of his time, just
Yeah.
completely changed the game.
And like he wasn't scoring 50 points, 100 points in a game.
He was
Like,
the
he didn't have
epitome
to.
of just making his whole team better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he brought them. He lifted them up. I think he was the guy.
Yeah, and I think that truly matters. Like, did you make your team better? There's those intangibles, the PERs, the win shares.
Yeah.
The all-time
Yeah.
leader of win shares is Kareem.
Kareem.
So he's number 2 for me. Like, he has 6 rings in 20 seasons, 20 solid seasons, not just some like, okay, at the end of his career he was
Yeah.
like wilting over or whatever. But Wilt is actually my honorable mention. But he also, like, I look at the weaknesses and stuff, and he was a horrible free throw
Yeah.
shooter. He struggled to win. That's one of the things that, like, I look at as far as greatness, where even I was actually thinking about it with Lonzo just a few days ago. He's not in this
my
conversation,
God.
okay, guys?
Okay.
Okay, he's
You
not
put
in
him in
this
there
conversation.
last week.
Lonzo, number 1.
Yeah, just because he got drafted by the Lakers.
No. I was watching him in summer league, and there's this gear that you should have as a great, as an all-time great. That when everybody turns it up, you still turn it up. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter of back-to-back. It doesn't matter of 4 games in 5 nights, which now these
Yeah,
guys
these
don't
guys
deal
are
with or
worrying
anything.
about.
And now you're not even going to really be dealing with back-to-backs pretty soon. But that clutch, when at the end of the game, everybody's giving it their all, and you still supersede that with not only your physical attributes, but how to utilize your teammates,
Yep.
how to follow the coach, get on the same
Yeah.
page, and also just getting the job done. You have to be able to ball handle. You have to be able to make clutch shots, free throws, pass to the right guy, be able to evaluate the defense. So number 1, MJ, 6-0
Yep.
in the finals.
Killing
He
it.
won a Defensive Player of the Year award in
Yeah, that
1988. He won the dunk contest. Like, everything that you would probably want to say of, like, check this off, it's
he
MJ.
did it.
Yeah.
Kareem has 6 MVPs, 6 rings. He's the all-time leader in points, 38,000
it's
points.
Big gap.
Like, maybe Kevin Durant might pass it one day, but that's if he stays on the Warriors and has guys just passing to him all the time, and he's scoring
Even
26
still, I
points
don't know.
for the next. Yeah, and
And
that'll
the teams
still
are
be
scoring
tough.
way more now
Because
too.
he's
So
scoring
Right.
less. He's scoring a little bit less now.
Right.
25 instead of 28, 30.
Yeah, and then I have Magic at number 3. He has 3 MVPs. He has 5 chips, 3 Finals MVPs. He came into the league clutch and actually could play the 1 through 5. You know, he
Yeah.
came in the finals and scored 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists in Game 6 at playing center.
Center.
When Kareem, the number 2 player of all time, in
Yeah.
my
That's-
opinion, was injured, and so he had to sit out. And Magic came in and hit clutch shots and just. And he has that intangible way of just making people around him better.
Yeah.
Not even just on the court, but also you see it off the court, like front
Oh,
office,
yeah, front
like
office.
they're killing it. And then number
Good.
5 is Larry Bird.
Larry
for me.
Bird.
Yeah,
Best shooter, best rebound.
So at least us three all got MJ,
combination.
Bird, Magic.
And I was kind of hesitant about Bird, but I actually think he's the greatest combination of passing, shooting, rebounding, and intellect and heart that the NBA has ever seen.
I think so too.
Yeah, and
It's
his is
like,
crazy. Just his work ethic too, like
Yeah.
all his workouts, because
Oh, yeah.
he's out of all those 5, he's the least athletic, like just naturally athletic gifted.
Yeah.
But for
The
him to be able to
average
keep
double-digit
up with
rebounds.
Magic, who's like this
Yeah.
freak athlete
Right.
at the time,
Right.
it's just shows his work ethic of like what he did, his IQ, his
Yeah.
mentality is just.
And imagine his stats. People try to put stats on him, but like imagine his stats in these days, man.
Yeah.
Well, if he
Right?
had a
He'd be
3-point line
LeBron.
his whole career,
Oh
what would he
my
be?
gosh,
He didn't even
and-
have a 3-point line half his career.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
a better rebounder than LeBron, better free throw shooter, better shooter. So
And I actually LeBron's a stronger passer, but
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
contend that Larry Bird's a better passer.
like he makes
Just
the
smart.
better pass.
He's
like,
just
smarter
smart.
pass.
Yeah.
Like LeBron does kick it to the open guy, but Bird is amazing. I gotta agree.
Jacob, who do you got?
All right, so pretty much the same thing as most of you guys. MJ number 1,
Okay.
and then I got Cream number 2, and then I got Magic number 3,
It's like the same thing.
Almost.
Yeah.
Bird.
and then
All
I
right,
got
here come the
Bird-
last 2 spots, though.
I got Bird at 4, and then I got Shaq at 5.
Oh, the Shaq and the
Oh,
5.
Shaq.
So you're
He
not
was
worried
the
about
honorable
his free
mention
throws
Shaq.
at the end of the game.
Just his
That's the
physical
only reason I
dominance
left him
in
out.
the
Yeah, I had to
paint.
leave him out. Free
Mhm.
throws.
But
Same
because
with
of how
Will.
dominant he was,
just
that's a
physically
tough one.
dominant.
Like
Yeah,
I can
dominance is a huge
can't argue with
thing
him
as
being
far
in there
as
because
being
no
great.
one dominated like Shaq physically.
Yeah. Unless you want to say Wilt, but Wilt I left off for the same reason.
Same
free
reason.
throws.
Yeah.
Free
And
throws
winning.
late game.
Hold on. I gotta defend Kobe.
Oh,
I have to defend Kobe.
Go
all
for
right,
it. Do it.
I gotta defend the reason I put MJ, Kobe, LeBron. To me, nobody actually even comes close to being in the top 3 for me. And I think the biggest reason why is because, like I said, for me, I put a lot of weight on their iconicism. How iconic were they? And to me, those are the 3 most iconic figures ever to play the game of basketball.
But what about?
But
Like, on
Bird
the
and
court.
Magic in the 70s and 80s.
But I'm talking about pass just on the court. I'm talking about their brands. I'm talking about in pop culture when you watch them go out
China.
in the world.
China.
Yeah.
Kobe China.
It's Coach China.
And
Bring
so,
in Yao Ming.
so when you look at that, when you see how much they expanded off the courts, I mean, Jordan is a CEO of one of the
Well, yeah,
biggest
Jordan for
clothing,
sure.
apparel,
I mean,
sporting
that's-
companies in the
That's not
world
even
now.
close.
Yeah.
He makes more money now than he ever did playing the game.
Okay,
So does
I would say
LeBron.
though, what
and
if
so
LeBron
and
already
LeBron
does.
has a massive suit contract. He's making ripples in Hollywood. Kobe he's known for a lot of his commercials. He has a crazy shoe brand, better than any of those guys. And sure enough, like they're old school, so some of that stuff is new school era stuff. But to me,
just the iconic
when you think about the
legacy.
people that are watching the game of basketball, you name the 3 most well-known players. Like for my generation, it's going to be MJ, Kobe, and LeBron. Period. At the
I
end
would
of the
say
day,
the
it's going to be those
legacy.
3 guys, and they carried greatness probably better than anybody. Like when the expectations that were put on them, the kind of greatness they carried, and the greatness they walked in, and that mentality, especially MJ and Kobe. And LeBron has a slightly different mentality. It's not quite there,
Right.
but because of like he's a once in a
freak of nature.
lifetime player,
Yeah.
you have to put him up there to me.
I think
So-
LeBron will break into the 5 once he like retires. It's tough for me to put the current player in there, but like I agree with the whole legacy and iconic, just their name.
Yeah.
But if Magic and Bird had the same technology and media coverage, and if the league was actually trying to expand internationally back then, Magic and Bird's
something.
final rivalries and stuff, that was like 70s, 80s basketball was just Magic and Bird.
But
So
even
it's-
Magic calls Kobe the greatest Laker of all time.
Well,
Yeah, but
Now,
it's
So-
true.
if you look at like Magic and Bird, or if you were to look at Bird and MJ, like take these duos, if you could have a duo to make like a dynasty, who would it be?
You stole mine already, MJ and Bird.
Oh,
But
my
Why
bad.
is that? Why would you say MJ and Bird?
well, MJ it's MJ. that mentality. And Bird is one of the few people that I can see actually lining up with that same mentality of we're taking over.
He was a
but
killer, yeah.
because he's so smart, he wouldn't clash with Jordan, I don't think. When they play against each other, yeah, they definitely clash. But if they were playing together, Bird is that
He'd
almost
be like a good team player.
Yeah, like he's smart to where he knows like MJ's feeling it right now. I can see that look in his eyes.
Yeah.
I'm feeding him the ball.
Yeah.
It's that, or like I mean, Magic would probably do the same thing, but there's like Kobe and Jordan. Wouldn't work. That would not work.
Well, I mean, Bird was
that would've been funny,
Bird
too.
was great because like he was smart, but like it's like he could also check the ego in a sense of like someone's hot.
He was humble.
Yeah, someone's hot. I'm gonna feed them the ball
In a
whereas-
very arrogant way.
Yeah, like
yeah, but
Yeah,
he
I was about to
knows
say
how
that.
good
I'm
he
like, what are
is.
you talking-
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he knows how good he
Yeah,
is, but
no.
he's like, yeah, he's not gonna hurt the team on his behalf of being great.
Yeah.
So he's really, and just being a shooter. I mean, you see what Jordan did with other random shooters. If you have Bird on his team instead,
Yeah, I gotta say, like this is my number one. But I don't want to put this one out there because this is just not fair. MJ and Hakeem, like
That's what
Hakeem's
I-
my
yeah,
favorite
that's
player.
exactly what
so
I
like,
big man.
that would be ridiculous. I'll let Alex speak on that. I'm sure he has a lot to say about that. But I would say that. But this is me wanting to see something like Nash and Shaq in like a pick and roll kind of thing.
Ooh.
That would be dirty. I think that would be good. Or Stockton and Shaq. Imagine that. Like that would
Yeah, I
be
was
All
great.
right, look what he did with
Stockton.
Karl Malone.
Exactly.
What
What
if
he
he had
did
Shaq
Karl Malone, but
instead?
if he had Shaq, oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah.
So those
Young
are good.
Shaq.
I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Young Shaq.
I
That's
really
what I
like
thought
that.
of when I did it. And then, like, I was thinking LeBron and Hakeem. Like, that would be good too. So, I just think Hakeem is incredible. I would put Hakeem almost in any kind of dynasty
I know.
situation because
Yeah.
the combination of everything that he did, being able to, he had a good shot, but like, to me, one of the best low post scorers I've ever seen with the moves. Like, he'll put the move on you, and like, you
And
can be
his
an
defense.
amazing defender.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, David Robinson getting shook up like out there. It's incredible what I saw
His
from
footwork.
him. Amazing, but defensively, my goodness, like
Yes.
Yeah,
the
that's
length,
He
the,
could switch
the
in
speed,
onto guards.
agility.
And he would tell Kenny
Oh,
Smith,
gosh.
like, just
Just
if
switch.
he, yeah, just switch.
Can you stop trying to chase him around?
It'd literally
Just
be
switch.
anybody. Just switch, like, and that to me is what set him apart.
Yeah, he's one of the bigs, the true
Yeah.
bigs that could actually play probably like 2 through
2 through-
5
yeah.
if he needed to,
That's
which
insane.
is
Wow.
crazy to think.
Yeah,
And I mean, he's
defensively. I mean,
like
offensively, he's
7
not
feet.
playing 2 through 5, but yeah, defensively, 2 through 5, no problem.
Well, even if he played 2, like he would, offensively, he just imposes his will, right? So like
Yeah.
essentially, you just put him in the
But
post.
he'd be playing as the 5 at the 2 position. It's not really.
Who knows if
insane.
you have
That's-
Shaq
yeah,
up
that's
there.
But that's
Ralph Sampson or something.
Samson, if he could. Woo.
All right, MJ and Hakeem, they won 8 out of 10 in the 90s. They'd
Yeah.
be inside, outside.
Gosh.
Two of the healthiest players we've ever seen. They're so versatile defensively. Their primes were long.
Yeah,
So
they
it wasn't just like, okay,
Yeah.
they had this like very concentrated time, like the Derrick Rose kind of vibe or whatever. Like
Oh my gosh, yeah.
they had a long time to be able to win a dynasty, and you could basically just surround them with 3-and-D players, a scorer off the bench, and that's a dynasty. I don't care what
anyone does.
era
Mhm.
you're in. You're good.
Cool, Matt.
Well, I wanted to go a little bit
Kobe
more
and-
current with my vibes. No, I didn't pick Kobe.
What? It's the second best player of all time.
you left him out of this.
Thank you, Matty.
Okay,
Thank you. My heart.
I wanted to go a little bit more current and something I want to see, and it's still possible to see.
Yeah.
I want to see Devin Booker and Kawhi
Ooh.
join.
That's like a future dynasty.
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to see
like
Devin
that.
Booker
That's
and
good.
Kawhi because the
That could
potential
actually happen.
could actually happen. The potential, the mentality that Devin Booker carries, he's got the Kobe MJ mentality. He has it. We know he does.
Baby.
He's got the skill.
Yeah.
Yay. He's got the
Little
potential.
Ted with
Young
Kawhi.
guy. Can't even drink it. He's younger than I am. That's crazy. Wow.
I'm gonna invite him to the court tonight and see what's up.
And then Kawhi. I mean, MJ just called Kawhi the best two-way player in the league.
MJ else. I don't know. Go ahead.
He's got some hate on MJ.
And so, but yeah, so I think Devin Booker and Kawhi would be an amazing pairing, and maybe you get a big man or something in there. But especially if it's on the Spurs with the Spurs front office and Pop. I mean, who knows
I
what
feel
they
like
can
that's
do with
actually
those
a
two
chance that
guys.
Booker could get to the
Woo!
Spurs somehow at some point.
That could be
Yeah,
fun.
I want to see that happen now.
It could be
That'll
fun.
be good. I think that'll be good for the league.
Go Northwest, L.A.
Jacob.
Both
Yeah,
of them.
Jacob, who you got?
Let's get it.
All right, so just let me know what you guys think. I got Hakeem and Bird.
It's good.
Hakeem and Bird.
Hakeem and Bird. Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I really like that.
Yeah.
It's good.
They're two like selfless players that have a lot of versatility. Like Bird will be able to like
Yeah, I mean,
find
Bird had
him
pretty
over
good-
and over again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Long
Hakeem would be
career.
like free to run like on the fast break and stuff.
Man, I just wish I could have seen Bird play like today's game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be amazing.
we
Oh, gosh.
wouldn't be putting him like I put him at 5. We wouldn't be putting him at 5. We'd be
Yeah.
putting him at probably like 3.
He'd be up there.
He'd be up
He'd be
there.
up there a little more, for sure.
Now, we touched on it, and quickly I want to get to this because we could spend an entire episode talking about this. But like what you just said about Booker and Kawhi, like that could very well be like that next super team.
Yeah.
So in 2018, there's going to be a lot of free agents, and who do you think could be the next super team?
With the
Because
next one.
you're going to have LeBron. If I'm correct, and I had my my list here, you're also going to have Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, Paul George,
Yeah, next
DeMarcus
couple
Cousins,
years.
DeAndre Jordan, Isaiah Thomas. Like you're going to have all of these guys.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
who
the
goes-
next 3 years is gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
2018, that season, real quick, who do you guys think is going to be like that next super team?
Right now, I
Trust
think
the
the next
process.
step.
Trust the
They already are a super team. What are you talking about, Julian? Joel Embiid. 99, where you do get, he deserves.
Right now, I think the team making the moves to do it the quickest is probably the Rockets.
The Rockets will be.
Yeah, I think that's the most
Yeah,
like,
because
obvious one.
that's what's actually happening right now is them making moves for Melo and just Melo, Chris Paul, and Harden on that team. I think that already offensively definitely becomes a super team just from Melo being D'Antoni's offense. So I think
Right.
that's the closest one that's actually
Well, I think
pretty good chance of that happening.
even that, like, I think if LeBron goes there next year, like, there's a possibility he can go there next year.
Yeah.
If they can get rid of Ryan Anderson's contract,
Yeah.
get some money, get LeBron there,
To
and
Houston?
then Melo
Oh my
gets
goodness.
there, and then Wade will come there because Wade will be able to get
Super
that'll be
friends?
off the bench.
You're
like,
talking
the
about
banana
super
boat.
friends?
Yeah.
Banana
The
boat
banana
team.
boat team will be there. Like, I think that's a legit possibility, but at the same time, I don't really want to talk about the Rockets because I
I
don't.
know.
Like the Rockets.
I was
like
going
the
to say the Rockets, but they're the ones.
So
that's
I'm gonna
actually
say the
doing it.
Lakers have a chance.
Yeah.
With Lonzo, got to give a shout out to Lonzo. He is really good at making people better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
he
look,
has that
just-
intangible
Just-
thing. That
he
you
has
just-
it. Like
Yeah.
LeBron goes there. Paul George obviously really wants to go there. Then they like I said, they have the cap space. They have the flexibility. They have Magic in the office. Like they have the allure. It's the Lakers.
Yeah.
So there's so many possibilities that can happen with the Lakers that it's hard not to see them forming one
Yeah.
and being formidable. But I want to see that over like the Rockets because I don't like the Rockets. So
Matt, who you got? Who do you think could be the next super team?
Well, I talked about the like the Spurs, that and Lakers. I also had them. So I'm going to use the one that hasn't been mentioned yet. The Celtics.
Okay.
The Celtics have a really good shot. I mean, you got Gordon Hayward right now. I'm actually going to put the foundation around Gordon and Jason Tatum, not around Isaiah, because if I'm
he's-
Danny Ainge, I'm
yeah.
trying to get rid of Isaiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Isaiah
then
for
he has
Kyrie.
Trade
Yeah.
high right
Kyrie.
now.
Oh wow! Wow.
and he has a lot of assets right now. So it's like I could see if Danny Ainge was willing to let go of some of his assets, either he could pick up somebody in the draft, or he could, or they could trade for somebody.
All
so
right.
Yeah, and I'm just going to take advantage of the words. It's who is the next super team. So I'm just going to take people. I think it's John Wall, Devin Booker, MKG, Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns. I think it's Team Kentucky.
Oh wow.
And I think John Calipari
Where they at, though?
finally
Are they in
comes-
DC?
Whoever
Are they?
Oh
They're
my
coming
gosh.
to John Wall.
I
That's what's
actually
happening.
like I thought about it for a second because John Wall's the one that actually most recently committed to like the whole
Yeah.
like huge deal or whatever. But I don't want that. I don't want that just because of Luka. So
You can
so
see
I'll say
them.
Miami.
You can see
the next super team
Not
in
one, not two,
DC.
not three.
You could go watch all those
We
games.
can watch them.
You could go watch
We can
the
still
games.
watch them.
I'm
They
getting,
come-
if Team Kentucky comes to DC, I'm getting season tickets.
Yeah, they'll all get
All
injured.
right, Luke.
They'll all get injured if we see a
Yeah,
next
right.
super team. They'll die. Miami's the next super team.
Jacob, who you got?
So I don't see why there's a point why there has to be one super team. There's so many free agents in 2018. I think there's going to be at least 3 or 4.
Okay.
So I'd say Thunder and the Rockets and the Spurs have the best chance of being the
Thunder.
super team.
If Paul George stays there,
Yeah.
Thunder. He's leaving, man.
He's
And,
gonna leave.
he's going.
Has to leave.
Well, then Westbrook's gonna leave.
And then just to end this kind of on a bombshell, in 19, Al Horford, Hassan Whiteside, Marc Gasol, Kevin Love, Jimmy Butler.
Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett. NBA. Down in Margarita. Here we go, guys.
Jimmy Butler, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, and Klay Thompson come up.
So that's just
So-
the next 3 years. All those people.
There's gonna be some change. There's gonna be the
Parity
dynasty
of leagues
that
and
is Golden State. That's not going to last forever.
It won't last
Seriously,
forever.
It's
but
not.
there
It's
for
not gonna
another
last
year or
long.
two.
This next
Yeah.
year though.
That's the one
They're
year,
probably
2 year,
still
3
winning 2
Yeah.
more rings, guys.
Yeah.
Annoying.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go into our last segment of the day. Troubling times, troubling mindsets. There's things that we need to address, and there's one
Lord
place.
knows.
There's one place that is addressing them, and that is the Church of Ball. We're going to church, everybody.
We're talking to you, Daryl Morey.
Oh yeah, brothers and sisters, I got another word for you today. Welcome to another sermon, another service. The Church of Ball, everybody. I'm so happy to see you here. Brothers and sisters, I'm so happy to see you here in this beloved Church of Ball that we have today. Oh my goodness. Brothers and sisters, though, we got to talk about something that's really serious. Brothers and sisters of the Church of Ball, we need to come into agreement. We need to talk about a dangerous mindset. A dangerous mindset, a mindset that accommodates mediocrity.
Oh, no.
Is that a good mindset to have? No. I said it. Is it a good mindset to have?
No, Pastor.
Mm-mm. No, it's not. A mindset that accommodates mediocrity. I personally feel that if you accomplish something as great as averaging a triple-double throughout an 82-game season, you deserve to have the MVP trophy. Do you agree? I said, do you agree? But brothers and sisters, Rockets GM Daryl Morey, he doesn't think so.
Come on.
No way.
He doesn't agree.
No.
I'm gonna quote you something that he said. I honestly, and this is him now, this is not me, this is him. I honestly don't think that there's a good process. You could argue for eliminating awards altogether. Why would you wanna, this is me now, this is not him, this is me. Why would you wanna eliminate awards? If you're gonna put the time, if you're gonna put the effort into it.
Come on.
If you're gonna put the effort in, the blood, the sweat, the tears, I believe that if you're the best, I believe that if you're the best, you need to be rewarded.
Amen.
Come on, Daryl. Come on, Daryl.
Preach it.
Come on, Daryl.
Come on now.
I don't really see a good way to do it that doesn't have major issues. I like clean answers, he says. I like clean answers. If there's not going to be a set criteria and there's going to be issues with how it's structured, for me, it might be better not to have it. Can you imagine the NBA, our church that we go to throughout the week? Can you imagine that without any awards? Can you imagine those amazingly talented players not being rewarded?
The devil is alive.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I'm sorry that your guy James Harden didn't win. I really am. I know that he showed up.
The enemy.
Sorry.
I know that he showed up.
That's the Lord right there.
But there's a clear answer for you. There is a clear answer in this for you.
Jesus.
Daryl, James got 22 votes. He got 22 votes. 22 votes. But you know how many Russell had? Do you know how many Russle had? Do you know how to know?
Tell us.
He had 69, and if that's not clear enough for you, Daryl, I don't know what is.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Brothers and sisters, we need to come into agreement. If someone is clearly the most valuable player, if they accomplish a feat that hasn't been seen since the 1961-62 season, I think they should be rewarded. Do you think they should be rewarded? Do you think they should be rewarded?
Amen.
I'll ask you again. Do you think they should be rewarded?
Yes, sir.
Do you think they should be rewarded? I think they should be rewarded. I think they should be rewarded. Let's go. Let's go. I think they should be rewarded. I think they should be. I think they should be.
Amen.
All right, fam.
they should
Thanks
be.
for joining us for episode 20
Let's
of
go.
the SharpShooters
Episode 20.
NBA podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a joyful week and have a good morning.